Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone present here as per your time zones. I would like to welcome you all to yet another live Tech Talk session hosted by Tech Mahindra BPS. We conduct these live chat shows at regular intervals to help you connect directly with our leaders, customers, and partners. Today, we present yet another stimulating connect with senior Tech Mahindra leaders where they'll talk about end to end managed services model. Let me introduce you with our esteemed panelists for today's talk show. We have with us Mr. Kishore Malethula, Global Head of Analytics at Tech Mahindra BPS. Welcome, Kishore. He's a passionate leader with over 22 years of work experience, largely into the field of data and analytics. We have with him Mr. Birendra Agarwal. Welcome, Biren. He has over 20 years of industry experience in various capacities. Apart from our panelists, we have with us Mr. Arpit Dhawan, Service Delivery Manager in Data and Analytics with around 10 years of experience. Welcome, Arpit. He'll be moderating today's session in an interactive and interesting manner. I'm sure about that. Please note, we are all recording this session and a copy of this recording will be uploaded on YouTube later. Our panelists will share insights for the first 45 minutes of the session and rest of the 15 minutes are reserved for a question and answer. So please, folks, be ready with your questions. This is your opportunity to know more about whatever we have missed during the session. And now I would like Arpit to take over the session. Welcome, Arpit.
Thank you so much, Balvinder. And I'm quite sure this is going to be really, really insightful. And it's really great to see many of you who are inquisitive to know more about the problems we are solving for our customers using managed services. With their ever-growing needs for data management, reporting, and transformations, managed services plays a vital role, in transforming their business. So we have with us in our esteemed panel today Kishore Madhutula and Birendra Agarwal, and we would definitely like to know more about them. So let's first start with a bit of intro. So Kishore, how has your journey been, and a brief, if people would like to know you more. So if you can share a bit about your experience and how is your journey in IT.
Sure, happy to do that. Thanks, Edward. Thanks, Bal, for organizing this. Uh, I'm always interested to share what I learn and my experiences in this. So a little bit about myself. I've been a data and analytics practitioner more or less all my working life, except for the initial part where I was an entrepreneur or set up and ran a business. So even on the analytics side, I'm not really new to services as such because I happen to work with a lot of pure play analytics firms. And I've closely worked with a lot of global organizations, right, especially in the CPG space. Procter and Gamble, Coca-Cola, some of the very big names that I was lucky to get an opportunity to work with them. And then I pivoted on to the product side of things as well. I worked with AB InBev. I'm not too sure if many of you know the company, but I'm sure you would know their brands. It's the world's largest beer company, right? Budweiser, Corona, Hoegaarden, all these are AB InBev brands. So even there, I had the opportunity to, leverage some of the service providers from a consumption standpoint, right? Not from a provider, just from a provider standpoint. Interestingly enough, Tech Mahindra happens to be my first in the BPS space, right? And I've been about a little over 15 months here, right? In my journey, few differentiating factors, let me put it that way, that I've seen for a managed service provider vis-a-vis small, let's say a pure play provider or from a product company standpoint. First and foremost, I noticed was we have a lot of jargons. There are a lot of three-letter words that come into play within this SLAs and so on and so forth. Right. Another interesting piece is everything as a service, right? Infrastructure as a service. So within this world, it was very interesting for me to learn that infrastructure setup from an IT standpoint, or running data models, right? Helping with migration of from legacy systems to cloud or to private or on-prem servers. Everything can be set up as a service, AAS. So that's another piece I learned. The scale is pretty huge compared to the previous engagements and works that have been. It was restricted to like one single company, but right now, so again, I'm sorry, I think I should have said this before. I lead the analytics practice for our BPS unit. So I'm lucky to have the opportunity to see our works across industries, right? Telcos, banks, insurance, some of the healthcare and life sciences clients. So what I've seen is the scale is pretty huge, and while that, along with it, it brings its own set of complexities, right? When it's easy for a small, you know, speedboat to steer, but if you are on a big ship, it takes its own time even to take a small turn as well. So from that standpoint, speed is something which where I found that it is a little slow compared to a product company or otherwise, but at the same time, we tend to match our speed with our clients' requirements. Right, that's the beauty of it. And we come across clients across the across the chain. Some clients are pretty matured in their understanding of what exactly needs to be done, where they want to go. While we also have clients who are in early stages, right? They know the end goal, but they're not very sure how do we get there. Especially with all the technology, the AI, ML, the Gen AI, the Chat GPT, so many programs that are getting launched. So we help them through all the way. So it's been an interesting learning experience and a journey so far. And I'm blessed to have a great team with me. I love my team. Right. So yeah, I think in brief, that has been my journey here at Tech Mahindra, and yeah, I look forward to more days.
Thank you so much, Kishore. That was really great to hear about your journey and experience. Biren, like we would like to know about you as well, because our audience is eager to know like what is your experience being in industry, since you are a seasoned professional in the managed services. So would like to know about you as well.
Yeah, I think uh, if I take back my journey from the very start, I think like I was so I've seen both side of the table. So I started my career with the service industry. I was working to the clients, understanding their problems, trying to uh, give them a solution which can not only related to or get them ready for the current but also future ready. So like that's where is what it is, as an like um, Tech Mahindra. I have joined 3.5 years back. Currently I'm serving as a VP as a data analytics, and I am before that I was in US for roughly around 15 years, and was working for multiple firms. As I said, like I was working for the clients as well as for the service industry as well. So have a pretty vast experience. All of these experience were in the space of data and analytics. Most of those. So when it comes how to deal with the data, and I've seen the era when we were talking about KBs and MBs, and that was a huge data. Whereas to now, when it's like even terabytes of the data is very normal for some of the organizations. So it's been a quite a good journey. As I said, like when I was on the other side of the table, when I was serving my clients and talking about what problem I can solve for them to be future ready, versus when I was taking a service from the service provider, so I was on the other side, and I can see the difference. I can see, like the ways of working, the thought, how the different organization or the service providers and the service receivers work. So I I spent, and like when I was in US after finishing my MBA, I was pretty much in a consultant role. Did a lot of consulting for various industries. I have varied from banking, insurance, to healthcare. Currently, I'm focusing more on the healthcare right now, but that's a wide of experience. And here, like the first big thing came in my plate was how to not only um, stabilize but scale the managed services. How you can increase the managed services, and how you can help them do their job better, and then I do our job better. So that's where we started there. And I think like it's a very phenomenal journey. I love that. I would be, like, if you ask again that do you want to take this path again, I would be, in a blip of second, I'll take a path. Uh, in a side, I would say that I'm very, like the other marriage or other thing which I do outside of my day job is that I'm very passionate on the startups. I have been an advisor of many of the startups. They are solving a very different problems. So I love doing that in my outside of day job. So that's all I would say. Apit.
Thank you so much, Biren, and thank you so much, Kishore. And I think this sets up a good base for Tech Talk today, which is around managed services. So, the people who are joining us in, let me give you a quick reference around what managed services is. So, managed services refer to the practice of outsourcing IT operations and management to induce efficiency, cost efficiency, optimization, transformation, and so that the businesses can focus on their core task and rest they can leave up to us and we will manage it for them. So I hope the base is quite set and we have our panel to share their experience. And let me start with the very first question. So, Piren, let me start with you. Why do you think managed services is the need of the hour and how it is going to help our client in achieving their objectives?
I think if I can summarize in few words, um it is the evolution of the thing. Like every time we have evolved, and I think, like, if you see from the era from 1960s, 70s, it was centralized, then again decentralized, and then again centralized. Now I think like the thing is like how I can decentralize it. Why like client can do what they do best. They can run the business, and let the IT services thing be our problem. And uh, I believe me, you are in a very good hands. So once you have that, you can actually run that. So if I talk about, obviously, like why we are bringing a managed services, why it's a need of the hour. If Arpit, you have asked, I will say that the benefit which we bring, or the value which we bring, is not that I'm only solving the problem in hand. I'm making sure that you are future ready, so that you can do a better job, or you can do the job which you are best on it, and I can do that. So that's the one thing. Other is obviously a cost pressure, since we have an engine, we have a oil which we have keep running those engines. I think we can do a like I used to call it good old days, faster, cheaper, and better. So I can do all of those with the help of my expertise. And lastly, we can bring the transformations which I have learned through industry. I have learned through various clients, either it's a telco or it's a uh, BFSI or to that matter health. But we can bring that expertise into the table. So those are the things which I believe are good.
That was really insightful, Biren. And I can see the curiosity building up of our audience. Guys, please keep your questions ready. So, next question I have is for you, Kishore. So, we have been working with the diverse client, and with the vast experience that you have in the industry, how are we aligning with the needs of our client, the managed services that we provide?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. But before I come to that, I wanted to share a couple points on the previous one that Birendra talked about.
Sure.
See, there are there are two, three more underlying factors which are shaping the need for a managed service practice in the industry, right? I think we are spoiled for choices, right? As consumers, say we go to a bank, we want to open an account, we want it done instantly, right? We want to buy clothes. We don't want to spend a lot of time in decision making. We want to make sure that we get the right one at the right price and at the right time, right? I mean, who would have imagined that, in 10 minutes your groceries would be delivered? This is especially true in India. In some of the other countries, it is yet to evolve in that space. So where this is coming from is this puts for all service providers, let it be a bank, let it be a CPG company, let it be anyone who's selling a product, anyone who's delivering a service in the market, they need to focus on what they do best, and they need to do it quickly, and they need to do it more, right? And because of that, for those engines to run, there is a huge IT infrastructure that needs to be set up. There is a huge support system that needs to run, right? The payrolls need to run, the finance and accounting needs to run, right? So that's where a managed service providers, play becomes very handy for a lot of global majors, right? So they want to build a better brand. They want to add more features to their product. They want to make sure that their consumers are having more choices and getting it much more quickly, right?
Mhm.
So that makes it all the more important that the managed service provider brings takes off from the plate, which are non-core activities for them, right? So that these activities can be at the same time, these need to be done with complete security, complete trust, full governance, and depending on the industry, sometimes the compliance with regulatory bodies is needed. Where you are, for example, GDPR or HIPAA guidelines, we need to follow them in certain industries. So a managed service provider brings to the table all these services for the companies. So if someone is selling, say, internet connection or trying to provide, I don't know, mobile plans or trying to bring in new products, they can focus on that and they can do that better. Right. So, I mean, I know, I mean, I would ask an excuse for non-Hindi speaking audience. So there was an ad from Pepsi some time back, right, which goes with saying "Ye dil mange more." So it is. I think it is somewhere deep down that's there. Companies want to do what they want to do best, and they want to move fast. And non-core activities, that makes builds the case for non-core activities to be done by a managed service provider, right? Now, coming back to your second question, which is how do we think about setting up a successful uh, managed service model, right? Let me talk of the factors in two buckets, right? One is more of from a strategic thinking standpoint, and second is more from an operational standpoint. See, the strategic thinking standpoint, this is something which I pretty very strongly believe in. And when I talk to my clients, especially in the initial stages of our relationships, these work well. We at Tech Mahindra, we try and look at the big picture for our client, right? So if while they are doing this, what is the big picture they're trying to solve for? If they want to move the data from, say, their on-prem to a cloud, why do you want to do that in the first place, right? What's the use case for it? What are the metrics for it? You get into the deeper down side of things. While the activities may be entirely different, but for a provider, it is very important to understand what is the big picture that the client is trying to drive. Second thing is something which I tell all my team members as well, is in my experience, again, I've ran global programs and done a whole lot of things. Never once I was successful in the first attempt. Not once. Right. So there are so many moving variables, right? People related, system related, sometimes which are just not in your control, right? COVID happened. Who thought? Right. So the idea there is let's fail fast, learn quickly, and pivot. Right. Let's not spend a whole lot of time in devising the best strategic plan there is. I don't think there is one that exists, right? With the available information that we have, with the visibility that we have, in the limited constraints that we have, we need to devise our action steps, right? And move fast, execute fast and execute well, right? The third one is extreme collaboration, right? We need to collaborate extremely well, both in intent and in our work with our teams. Now that's when you kind of move much fast. Recently, I think I was watching one of the OTT series where they've shown something which was there on the wall. I like the code which says that if you really want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with a team. Right. So we believe in traveling far and going far. So more from a strategic standpoint, I think checking a box on all these three areas is important. Few on the operational side of things, again, we should have a very clear definition of the scope, right? What is there, what is not there, as clear as possible, right? Ensuring very effective communication channels. It's better to err on the over communication side of things than the under communication side of things. Right. Next is on the metrics. So in our experience, or at least in my experience, what I've seen is that many times, see, the metrics need to change over a period of time when we set up a model. For example, in the initial days of the managed service model that you set up, the metrics that we need to watch out would be more around, how soon people are catching up the learning curve, right? Right. What is the help that is needed for them? I think these metrics now, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, whatever be the time, depends on the kind of process and all. They can slowly morph. Once the team is up the learning curve, then hey, you should not miss it. Those. So constant, clear definitions of your SLA parameters that needs to come into play. Again, ensuring proper security and compliance needs to play. Continuous monitoring is something that needs to happen. Keep a close watch on what it is happening, so that, I mean, there's a very good saying that I read somewhere where it says that no matter how big the fire, you can put it out just with a glass of water if you can get the timing right. So if something in the services model, when we try and do something, is that's why close monitoring is very, very important. So early on, leaders need to catch on those sparks. Something is not going right. Okay, let's take an action, what it is, implement, and move fast. Right. So I believe that's what comes to my mind. These are the few things which I think are important in setting up a successful managed service model.
That's really great, Kishore. And let me involve Biren here. So Biren, we understood that okay, like we have every client is unique and we have a diverse base in Tech Mahindra. So how do we face the challenge? How do we face the challenge and what challenges we face basically while we help our client to transition into the managed services? And how what will be our approach in doing that basically?
Yeah, I think thanks for this is a very question to my heart. I live and breathe into this. So the challenges are unique, different across the clients. But if I can club that into a theme, like if I can say that what are the pillars, what are the theme, why we have the challenges, or why the clients have their apprehensions. There are three pillars, I would say. And the very first pillar is trust, and then it is effectiveness, and then the last one is efficiency. So I'll talk about all three pillars. Like when I say trust, what it means. Okay, so basically, it is as simple as someone is walking into a door and doing your plumbing or doing your work. Now, if someone has opened the door for you, he or she has to trust that like I have chosen the right partner, and with the help of his or her expertise, uh, I can climb the ladder. So that trust is very much important. And how, like, trust is not something which can come, okay, like you have chosen me, so I'm a trustful. No, it comes with a lot of effort. Like where it comes that okay, why we are here. So I think like the thing on why I am here is very important to address. That's where you have to tell about that I have expertise, and as Kishore was mentioning, like you do your core work, and I will do your peripheral work. So if I can have that expertise, that hey, I do my job very well, and I can showcase that with not only showcase by like lead by the example. So you work it, you come in, walk in, you like in the first couple of weeks or a month, you do these discoveries and find out that hey, these are the gaps, these are the places, these are the things which I think it's a low hanging fruit, and we can take that. So that's the one thing. So like when I say trust, uh, it is a trust on whether my data is safe, my infrastructure is safe, whether I can, and the very big pillar in trust comes the change management. So like there are different organizations, and different organizations work very differently. So that's where you have to say that uh, okay, I can see that they have a good expertise. I can see that okay, like they will be doing it, but are they going to make sure that I achieve my objective? Can i can i be can i trust them that even though they are very expert, can they work on my ways of working? Can they go together with my team or my organization and achieve what they are here for? So I think that's where trust comes. When I talk about efficiency, like again, I will go back to why I'm here is because of the industry expertise, because I know various other clients, how they are going and how I can make you future ready. And that's where you have to be very efficient. There are as someone says that there's a n different ways of achieving the target. Which one is the right one is you have to like not only choose that, but also you have to like give that parameters to show that hey, this is the best path for you. uh, and it varies. So, and then the last one, as I said, like like the whole point is this entire like journey, if you talk about, is a transformation. And when I say transformation, it's a next word nowadays is being used after strategy, that hey, everything is transformation only. But what I would say is, when I say like transformation, it means that can I incrementally change either the outcome or reaching that outcome? Can I change that? Can I make sure that I am I'm a faster, better, cheaper? Can I like, as I said, like in maybe in early 1980s, good old days, like I'm old, so that there was a 5 inch or 5.25 inch floppy disk, then it came 3 inches or something. So we had those old eras. But as a human, we are evolving. Every time we are evolving, we are going from kbs to mbs to gbs to terabyte to petabyte. So this evolution is faster. And can I make it more faster? Can I make a journey which was taking 10 minutes, can I make it in 5 minutes? So those are the challenges which I say is making sure. So I'll take a pause there, and over to you, Arpit.
That's really great, Viren, and thanks for sharing the experience and the pointers. I believe that it's going to be really helpful for all our attendees for joining the session. So with that, I believe like everybody is aware that AI is not just knocking at the door right now. It is already in the house, and we have warmly welcomed it. How it is going to impact us, and as well as like what holds in future for the managed services with tech and AI in place. So these are the two questions that I wanted to understand from you, Kishore, with the experience that you have. How AI and tech are going to set up the future trend for managed services.
Oh, they're going to change the game completely, if you ask me, right? And in short, see, let me just talk a little bit more on that. There are quite a few things that are happening, but the tech advancements that are happening is pretty huge, right? Again, this is getting driven mainly by the reduced cost of data storage and data processing costs. They have come down drastically. The prediction algorithms or the mathematical algorithms, these are not new. They were there even before as well. But for us to actually run these on huge data sets, earlier the computation and the storage cost itself was very prohibitive. Right? That changed. Next is the business needs itself are changing, like what I talked about, consumer preferences, right? They want more, they want better, they want faster, right? Which is shaping up a whole lot of things, right? And also some of the technology provider, let me say, the way they are trying to bring their services or products into market, right? Again, as Tech Mahindra, we do not endorse. We are agnostic to any player from any provider for that standpoint, right? Because we kind of help our clients. So whatever is a client environment that exists, whether it's AWS or a Microsoft or a Google Cloud, we have expertise in all different areas, and we tend to do that. But we also see, you know, how these technology providers are changing their games as well, right? A lot of consolidation is coming into play. Right. For example, the collaborative channels of communications are getting integrated with your email channels, right? Um, Again, very recently in our company, there's a Microsoft Copilot which has been launched, and we are running a whole lot of programs on awareness of it and how do we make use of it. right? These days, when I get an email, I also see that there's this AI assistant which is telling me, "Hey, this is the room, that exists," right? Um, and the amongst the trends where I see where this is moving towards is, see, the AI and the automation play will continue to increase. Whatever is, it's already there. People want to automate a lot, and they want to move everything and all of it. But the AI and automation play will increase more, very clearly. Second trend, or one of the important things I see, is the cyber security. I think in chat I also saw a question around that. We want to touch upon that as well. See, with increased presence online, right, your cyber security becomes super important, right? You need to identify and mitigate these risks, right? For example, securing the networks and ensuring compliance with regulations, right? Your cloud vulnerability, right? Data breaches, again, risk associated with your remote work and mobile devices. Now that is also increasing a lot, right? Phishing, ransomware, cryptojacking. There are so many things that are there. So along with that, the solutions are also coming into play. For example, you have, first, I remember few, not many years or many days ago, just a password would have been sufficient to log into your, say, email ID. But today, when I try to open my email on my mobile device, I need to have an authenticator app, right? It gives me a number, I key in the number, and then it asks for my fingerprint. I give the fingerprint. So there is a MFA is becoming a everyday practice, right? Multi-factor authentication, which is coming into play, right? That's there. So cybersecurity is a trend that's going to go. The utilization of the cloud services will go up. As I said, right, one of the interesting things that I saw at Tech Mahindra is as a service. For example, even a small company, they may not be able to afford to have a full cloud, private cloud setup and so on and so forth. But pay as you use, or as a service, a service provider like Tech Mahindra, we can help set up the whole thing. We can help manage, run it, right, take care of its architecture, the security standpoint, all things that are needed, right? That makes it easy for them to take advantage of faster processing and getting things done quickly. One of the interesting things that I'm starting to see, again, it's not very prevalent, is within the managed service providers play, is the blockchain, or the distributed ledger technology coming into play. Right. So this includes managing the blockchain nodes, again, the data integrity, security, having smart contracts, right? Again, the applications that we're talking about earlier, they're heavy, right? Right when joining, we were discussing how WebEx has become a little bit more heavy application, right? The trend is moving towards decentralized applications as well. Right, we see that's another trend that is there. From an engagement standpoint, one of the things that I've started to notice with our clients is that earlier it was more on the work unit driven, right? You handle so many tickets, or you handle so many calls, or and so on and so forth. From that, I'm not saying that these models were not there before at all, but the shift is increasing more towards a outcome based engagement model, right? Hey, how you manage this service is doesn't matter to me, but this is the outcome that I want to make sure that that is there. So why don't we shake hands on agreeing on the outcome? So where a managed service provider runs the entire end-to-end shop with increased sense of ownership, and there is more control on the process. It's not like you found out something and you're telling someone else, and they're taking their sweet time to act, which might delay the results a little bit. So I see a very important trend in the engagement side is moving more towards outcome based engagement models, right? So yeah, I think these are the few trends that come to my mind.
Yeah,
Arpit.
I think that summarizes it up quite beautifully. And with that, Viren, my next question is for you. We have a lot of aspirants who are new to managed services or who want to join managed services or who are still navigating the waters of managed services. How they should proceed in their career? What advice you have to so that they can have a successful career in managed services?
Yeah, I think like when it comes to uh, like I think like being relevant in the uh, is the one word. Like you should always be relevant with the current trend, with the current era, and making sure that like again I'll take it up basic. I'll take a step a little beyond. It is not about the technology or anything. It is like why what I'm doing and why I'm here. So once you know that, like you can do much better. So like
Right,
either it is upskilling yourself, either it is communication, is it uh, new tools like this next gen tools which we have been discussing, Gen AI and others, how that is relevant in my current scenario and what we can do uh, is extremely important. I think those are the few things which I can think of. Again, two or three pillars, if you talk about, is that I need to like know what are the technologies which I'm working and how I can do a better job there. But also I understand how to communicate. Like how I can be a better there. So other than this, I would say that like no matter what technology you are, but
mhm,
please make sure that you are learning every day. You're learning, like upskilling yourself and actually trying to find or trying to solve the real problem as it is your problem. So if you have those things, I think anybody can go a long way in managed services. The
right,
ownership is very important. Managed
mhm,
services is all about ownership. That hey,
right,
I have opened a door for you. It is my house, but I have given you the control. Can I trust you? Again, I'll go back to that trust, effectiveness, and efficiency. But if you talk about those pillars, like you will do much great better. So
right.
that's all I can say.
Yeah. Kishore, anything you like to add on this?
No, I'd resonate thoughts with Biren, and again, I personally a very strong believer in this. Learning is a constant thing, and at Tech Mahindra, we encourage our team members. We try to do everything that we can to inculcate and to drive that culture. See, in terms of skill sets, again, you know, it's good. They say that when the disciple is ready, the master appears. Right? If you really want to learn, you will find a way out to figure out. And in today's age and world, uh, access to content has become very much democratized. Right? I mean, I'm sitting here in Bangalore, and I can access HBR articles. Right?
Right,
So I think this has opened up the access to content is not a challenge. You get very good content. I would encourage youngsters to, talk to some of the industry leaders, try and get their perspective in terms of what it is. Even more importantly, continuously every 3 months, 6 months, question yourself, hey, is there anything new? What is the new thing that I've learned in the last 6 months? There that question should have an answer.
right,
If it's not there, another practice, again, more, I'm not saying you all should be doing this, but one suggestion that I give, and a lot of people told me that has really helped them, is many people consciously do not invest in their own skill upgradation, right? Earmark a 7 to 10% of your annual salary on your own skill upgradation, right? When you start to do that, you actually start to learn. Think about it. I mean, you guys don't have to answer on the chat or anything, but think about it, right? When did you actually spend any money to pick up a skill? It could be anything, right? Depending on which area that you would like to go. If it is on the managed services side, if it's on the data analytical side, what the skill is, again, tons of their networking, system administration side of things, cloud services, visualizations, right? One of the points I liked what Biren said was on the communication side of things. It's super important these days. So before you be a good people manager, good project manager, manage yourself, right? Be a good self manager. So foresee what are your future needs. Where is it that you want to go? Right? Invest some money into it. Right? Make sure that you're learning something or the other. Right? And on the specifics, I'm sure if you're really interested, you know how to
Yes,
get it, right? These days, I guess the meta got integrated with WhatsApp. Even in WhatsApp, you can find out uh, what are the best
right,
courses or whatnot
right.
there. So yeah, I think sorry, I think we are on a time. I know Bal was messaging me. I think we have some question and answers. Should we move to that?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think that summarizes the session. And to quickly summarize what we have discussed today is managed services can help you in reducing the cost pressure. Organizations can focus on their core business and let us handle their services for them, because it's a saying, wear a nose where the shoe pinches more, and we as an organization knows it quite well how to handle your pain areas. So yeah, with that, I'll give it back to Bell to address the questions of the attendees of the session, and our panel will be there to answer those questions. Thank you so much everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Arpit. And thank you, Kishore and Biren. That was really insightful. I'm sure our attendees would have gained a lot about it from your insights. Wonderful. So I think the first question was posted by some Mr. Ashwin. I think you have already answered that question. Would you like to add something now? I'll repeat the question. How often do you participate in cybersecurity training or awareness programs? I think you have answered it pretty well. But if you'd like to add
Yeah.
something, I mean, Biren or anyone, please feel
Yeah,
free.
so it's a regular thing for us. So there are two levels of programs that we run. First is at a Tech Mahindra level, we have our own security controls measures that we put in place and we run. And then sometimes, depending on the client and the engagement, we have to run some specific certifications and make sure that our people are have completed certain courses and packages which are designed by the client and recommended by the client. So we tend to do that as well. But just as a good practice, more or less, the basic ones, there are again phishing emails which our IT team also sends us to make sure that we are not just looking at the emails. If you fail in that, you got to redo the training again. Simple answer is very regularly. It is one of the very core uh, important things for us. As Biren talked a lot about trust, our clients trust us with their data, with their everything. So we take it very seriously.
Wonderful, Ashwin. I hope that answers your questions. So I move to the next one, which is asked by Niharika. She's asking, what are the key benefits of adopting managed services?
Oh, I think I don't know. Biren, you want to take it?
Yeah, I'll like again. I think some of those has been touched in our discussion, but very specifically, like again, why it is needed is because I think we can fast pace the journey a little faster. I can make you a little more future ready, and not because that only because okay I am good in technical or something, because I have learned from the industry, and that's the reason I think together we win, and learning from one geo or a one demographic or a one industry and putting that in another. And that's what it is all about. Even if you talk about this chat GPT or OpenAI, the machine is learning by themselves. And if we human can learn from one and implement that in others, that's the beauty of this managed services, where I can bring a length and wealth of the experience and make you a little more faster and future ready. So that's where I see the Niharika. Kishore, anything else?
So the next question is from Kulsum, and she's trying to check, what does Tech Mahindra provide? What does Tech Mahindra give our customers? That gives them an edge over competitors in managed services model. What does Tech Mahindra bring on the platform, giving it an edge?
Sure, definitely. So, couple of things that we are very proud at Tech Mahindra is that we believe this is one of our tenets as well. Rise together. Okay, let me take a step back. First and foremost, it's the people edge that we bring to the table. I'm sure all service providers would be saying it, but the extent of focus on we focus on our people in terms of learning, upskilling, and getting them future ready is I think it's much better than some of our peers in the industry. Second is we believe in the advanced technology, and I'm super proud to say that I'm not too sure if all of you have heard about this. Tech Mahindra is the only company which has developed its own LLM. There's a project called Indus.
Right.
Our ex-CEO, Mr. CP Gurnani, had taken up a challenge, and we delivered it in a record time and within a at a record cost, I would
Right.
say. Right. So the challenges that we take up are more future ready, and we deliver it onto the people that we bring is. And the third thing that we say is, like I said, we are in this for the long run. We look at the big picture for our client. We don't want to do it a quick fix or a band-aid kind of a service model engagement with us. We try and help our clients, go far and fast, right? So, yeah, I think these are the few things which would differentiate us compared to our peers in the industry. Some of I mean, I'm sure I don't remember all of them, but if you look at the analyst reports, we've been ranked leaders in multiple parameters. Some of the industry analyst reports that are there. If you Google, you'll easily find them. Those emails keep coming. I'm sorry, I should have had that ready with me. I don't know if Bal, if you have, but a lot of industry analysts, right, they do recognize as a leader in the space that we are doing. So that is again an independent body which is talking to all the service providers in the market, evaluating, doing the survey. They are talking to the end client and then coming up with where each player is. So yeah, I think that should make Tech Mahindra as a chosen partner easy decision for our clients.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So now I move to the next question from Swapnil. He wants to know, what trends do you see shaping in the future of managed services? So it becomes really important, to see what the future holds for us.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of touched on this a little bit more detailedly as well. See, the future trends, again, there's consolidation, there's automation, and AI will continue to increase, right? Security, attention to security, cyber security side of things will increase, right? Decentralized apps will start to come into play. There is talk of the distributed ledger technology, DLT technology coming into play, smart contracts coming into play, which are going to happen. So the future trends, again, the interesting part about all of this is it's difficult these days because the rate of change of the next big thing is becoming shorter and shorter as we come over a period of time. Right? I remember, for example, the longest phone that I've used in my life was Nokia 3310. I don't know if anyone. I hope some of you are born by then. Were born by then. So
Yes.
that was the first model. I mean, we could break a coconut with that phone and nothing would happen to the phone. It was so sturdy. Right. Nokia 331. I used it for the longest time. The next model took so many years to get launched, the 315 and stuff like that. But these days, now you look at it, I mean, you get like 10 camera phones, 20 camera phones. I don't even know. It's so difficult to
Right.
keep up with it. Right. So as of now, where we see is there'll be increase towards more on the consolidation in terms of omni-channel connect with the for end customers, for our clients. They want to make sure that they're connecting with their interacting brand or a service provider or a product across all the channels, social media or their website or e-commerce or whatsoever. So yeah, I think these are the few trends that come to top of my mind. Viren, if you have any other or
No, I think you covered it, right? If time permits, we can take one more question, Bal.
Yes, just time for one more questions, and I think this is also touched upon. I'll pick up a question which I think is not touched upon very clearly. So, it is what are the parameters that define the success of managed services? I think you would like to shed light on it.
Right. I think like again, I'll go back on that. Like uh, as Kishore was touching a little bit on, like he used that brick phone for a longest of time. I think like the things are changing much faster. Like earlier, it was the one revolution to other revolution, or like if I talk about uh, 2K or before, or a laptop or a mobile, it has been like very fast paced, and that's a thing which is coming much faster. So if you can, like, the parameter is only very simple. Can I rely you? Can I make sure that you can do the job better than what I was doing? Again, it is a mantra of faster, better, cheaper, and those are the parameters. But can I bring more transformation to be a future ready, and can I be in a peace of mind that I'm on the path of a journey where the gap of evolution from one to another, or evolution from one to another, is reducing. Uh, those are the parameters on a high level. I don't want to go into details about SLAs and so on. Those are very given, but on a broad level, these are the things which I think is very important. Kishore, if you want to add anything on successful parameters for managed services.
no, I think I can go on. Quite a few, but then see the intent, keeping up with it. I always go by the three strategic or the big things that I talked about, which is let's look at the big picture. Let's move fast. Let's collaborate well. Uh, I would, I think, yeah, that defines it for me. So
So there are many more questions coming on the chat window. Like Ashwin has requested me again to take up his questions, but Ashwin, we are over with the time. We would like to, we would, try to answer questions over the email. We'll pick up the questions and reach out to panelists and ask them to answer these questions, and we'll put it on
sure.
the over an email. I think that'll cover everything because we are running short of time. So it was a great and a very interesting session. Kishore, Biren, and Arpit, you have helped it. You have rocked. It's been really, conversational kind of a thing. So it's great to have you on this chat window today. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for all the people who have joined the session and your emojis, your reactions, your chats. Make the session very interesting. Have a good day, all of you, and goodbye.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much,
Thank
everyone.
you, Bal,
Thank you so
for
much.
hosting this. Thank you.
And just to add, we are scaling and we
Thanks
are
for this.
scaling at speed. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
absolutely. We're scaling at speed.
Of course, we want to scale
Goodbye.
at speed. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.